Hi, welcome back, and help me in welcoming John Cook, who is the CEO of wakaNINE here at CLOSEUP. Hi, John. It's so good to see you face to face. In real life. He's joining us he came in from Austin, where he heads up the innovative lighting company, wakaNINE. So we're going to see a tour, right? So can you kind of set the stage of what we're about to see before we come back for Q&A?
Yeah, right. We've got an introductory video that sort of goes through the key aspects of wakaNINE and the brands we work with.
Yep.
And then we have a little video added to that comes from our new showroom and warehouse that we moved in about a year ago now, and so that'll talk about some of the new and exciting things we've got coming up.
Awesome. Do you want to introduce your friend too?
Yeah, I'm a grown man, and I do travel with a small doll. That's Waka Willie. So those folks that know Austin, Texas, know that Willie Nelson is Austin, Texas resident. So we have Waka Willie. He has his own little Instagram handle, and I use him to share things that I see on the road.
Oh, I love it. Love it. All right. Well, let's see the video, and then we'll come back with Willie and John.
Kia ora and howdy. My name is John Cook, and welcome to wakaNINE. We're extremely happy to be part of CLOSEUP again this year after the great event we had in October. Things do seem to be improving on the pandemic front, so we really hope that we get together in person very soon. The CLOSEUP format does provide us the opportunity for you to visit our home, the wakaNINE warehouse, office and showroom here in Austin, Texas. We moved into this new space back in May and we love it. Let's go have a look. So welcome to our showroom. Some of you might be familiar with our box display because we've shown this at Wanted Design and ICFF. In fact, we've been involved in New York by Design for about 15 years now, first exhibiting at ICFF in 2006. We spent 7 years with Wanted Design, which was fantastic, so we're really excited to continue our relationship with the Wanted Design team.
Get it. Thank you.
So we've had a lot of time on our hands over the past year to contemplate and think. Perhaps you have had the same. And we resolved to change our tagline for wakaNINE. So wakaNINE is beautiful, human, illumination. So beautiful, somewhat obvious. We've got beautiful fixtures. Some might call them decorative. We prefer beautiful. But there's also beauty in the craft, in the design, in the care of the making of the fixtures. We're blending old world craft skills with some new science. So beautiful is part of our brand. The human side of things, it's very important and vital to me that the humans involved in our supply chain, designing the products, creating the products, installing, shipping, what have you, are treated well. So everyone in our supply chain is respected and looked after. And illumination, again, somewhat obvious. We're illuminating spaces with light, but also we like to share information, call it education, not to be preachy, but by providing information through Zoom, through our website, through CEUs, we hope to be able to share with you and really enrich your lives as designers and help you design the best spaces. We also, things that we've been doing for the last couple of years now is well building. And we support the well building initiative, so designers that are certifying spaces to the well certification can utilize wakaNINE fixtures in a number of areas of the well building initiative. The light concept, obviously, the sound concept through our acoustic fixtures,
as well as materials, movement, and mind.
So we can help you certify your space and count for points utilizing our fixtures. We've also done a number of projects with clients achieving the Living Building Challenge standards, both residential and commercial. There's a great project on our website, Heron Hall, which is a Living Building Challenge certified project for a residence by Jason McLennan. We've also been involved with Google and Etsy in the commercial space. So at wakaNINE, we're relatively small and relatively nimble, but the way that we can do more is through partnerships and collaborations. First partnership I'd like to talk about is with Ketra. I've known the guys at Ketra for about 8 years now, and they're an Austin-based company, and we're a startup, but now have evolved into being part of the Lutron family. So Ketra is probably the best LED color changing and control lamp that I have seen. The vast majority of wakaNINE fixtures are lamped with E26 medium base, and that's what Ketra does. So if you are looking for amazing lighting, color control, both color temperature as well as color changing, then Ketra is a really good option. The other great partnership I'd like to tell you about today is with Color Cord Company. Believe it or not, they have color cords and much more. So we changed our supply of electrics to Color Cord about a year ago, and they supply all of the standard electrics. Our partnership has evolved, and now we can provide the Color Cord, different sockets, different canopies, swag hooks, a host of amazing products from Color Cord that are based out in Colorado. We've known these guys for quite a while. I think we're very, very like-minded. That's part of our sort of policy, if you would, at wakaNINE. We only like to work with people that have similar values and that are aligned, and so Color Cord is certainly one of those companies. So an exciting new member of the wakaNINE whānau, our family, is Luminosa. Luminosa is headed by Jonathan Baskett. They're based in Mexico, and they have a beautiful range of blown glass and beaten copper fixtures. It's really a community project as much as a business. Jonathan works with local artisans, copper smelters, glass blowers and the like to create his range. He also is very, very hands-on. He's a master glass blower himself, as well as a lighting designer, having worked in Australia, New York, amongst other places around the world. We're so happy to have Luminosa on board as another line and another member of our wakaNINE family. It's phenomenal that we've come together as a community under these pretty trying conditions, so congratulations for making this happen. Also, we hope to see you in November. We do plan to be in New York in person, and we hope that we'll be able to meet. And also, for those that are interested in travel and Austin, Texas, we are having a hui in April of 2022. Now, hui might not be a familiar word to you. It's a Māori word, another native New Zealand word that means gather, share, and learn. So if you want to gather, share, and learn about beautiful human illumination, you're in the right place, and we'll see you in April 2022. Kia ora. Thank you.
So wonderful. Thank you for that tour and such amazing new products and offerings. A couple things I wanted to dive more into. So you work with various innovators and designers, and you know, going back to your 3 pillars of beautiful, human, and illumination, which I love. You say it's so much more, right? It's the people that you partner with and the people that you bring under your umbrella of sorts. Can you talk a little bit more about that? How do you pick who you work with? And I know it's global, but then you also think local.
So I'm pretty useless at picking anything, quite frankly. Most of the time, I think all of the lines have come to me. So I found them. So David Trubridge chose me, of all people, many, many years ago, and started working with him. And I think, he's so successful and so unique. People look to him, other designers,
right.
And so they get signals from him. And then when they saw what wakaNINE was doing for him, they approached me. And I think it's not so much how we first find the companies. There's a lot out there, and there's plenty of really, really good ones.
Right.
But if they don't fit the wakaNINE construct on checking a number of different boxes, then it's not that they're bad.
Right.
They just don't sort of fit with us. So we certainly want companies that are like-minded in terms of care for the environment, sustainability, unique design. We don't copy. We don't sort of knock off, if you would. We don't really like that at all. And so the design companies need to have a unique voice. And now that we've got 4 or 5 on board, the most recent one, Luminosa, we didn't have any glass fixtures or really heavy metallic ones. In fact, most of our fixtures are pretty lightweight, other than the fire and ice. So even something as basic as a heavy fixture was
right.
kind of new to us. Bamboo, we typically, with David, we ship mainly air.
Right.
So with all that in mind, we do want to work with companies that are successful in their own market, and then we help them be successful here.
Yeah, that's great. And speaking of the wellness and sustainability, love that you're a supporter of WELL and the Living Building Challenge. And Heron Hall is such an incredible project. How did you tell us about working on that project, and how has that helped hone, your sustainability and wellness practices moving forward?
Yeah, there's not a lot to our particular role in those kind of projects other than availability of the product. And so in that case, Jason McLennan, who actually also helped write the WELL Building Standard and
right.
the Living Building Challenge, so he's a good friend of ours now. And so we're honoured to be part of that project. I mean, there are some nuances to Living Building Challenge and WELL Building when it comes to lighting, and it's wiring.
Right.
So wiring has a lot of PVC,
Yep.
which is not part of the approved list because of red list chemicals and what have you. And you can get compliant wiring at about 5 times the cost per linear foot. So not really viable for large commercial projects. So we have to, collaborate, hustle and weave a little bit and work out how to get dispensations or find product that does meet certain requirements. So specific to that wiring, the ROHS, the ROHS equivalent or compliant stuff in Europe works for those projects. So we source that, put it together and get it done that way. So it's not easy often. And I think the previous guest said lighting's a bit hard, and it can be at times.
Yeah. But you figured it out, so there's that. Talk a little bit about the new collaboration with Jonathan Baskett.
Mm-hmm.
It looked beautiful, the beaten copper fixtures, the blown glass. I know you highlighted it, but is there anything extra you can tell us about those?
Well, it's sort of very, very different to us. Mexico City, or actually San Miguel, where Jonathan and his team are, is closer than New York
right.
to Austin.
Oh.
So it's different for us to have a partner that's relatively close. You know, we've got New Zealand, Thailand, and South Africa. So the freight issues and those sort of things are quite different. So almost working with Luminosa, it's almost like starting again, because it's heavy glass, heavy metal. Those are 2 materials we're not that familiar with. And then the distance or lack of brings up some logistical things which are good and positive,
Right.
But the way we came across, again, is sort of the human part of it. So our very, very good partner, Communita in Mexico City, suggested that I connect with Jonathan. He knew, Andres knew John and suggested that we connected. So again, Luminosa kind of found me because of what wakaNINE was doing, and then specifically with David Trubridge and Communita.
Right. So how does it work when they come to you? How do you collaborate on the designs, or do you, and how do you get them ready to
Yeah, we don't
roll
really
out?
collaborate on the designs per se. We're not designers, but we know what works. Like I recall helping David, or at least suggesting we have some different sizes.
Right.
You know, the sizes weren't quite there, and David will change his finishes now and then, so we have a little bit of input. But that's not our job. We really, you know, call it Americanize or North Americanize the sales and marketing efforts,
Right.
spec sheets, the level of detail, at least in my experience over the years, that the American designers especially want about products far outweighs what they want in other countries. So rather than 2 line items about product care, we need a lot more information.
Right.
And so the notion of specification and all the specifics we have to put together. A little bit of translation of some words as well. Words have different meanings,
Yes.
different context and the like. And then also we keep inventory because level of service here, you know, thanks to Jeff Bezos and those sort of guys, people need things really, really fast,
Yep.
relatively. So that's another benefit actually of TrueBridge, is that they come as very, very compact boxes, so we can expedite directly from New Zealand in a very cost-effective way compared to some other larger fixtures that are already assembled.
Right. Got it. And Ketra and Color Cord are super cool. You touched on them briefly in the video as well, but ultimately, what do you see so much, what does it bring to the A&D world, and, you know, why were they interesting
Right, so
to you?
Ketra came to us, one of those stories again, but I had known them. I love the colour changing aspect. It's a little bit disco at times, and I think David cringes sometimes when I put coloured bulbs in his fixtures. We've done events at the Austin ACL Moody Theatre with Alejandro Escovedo. I've done some other relatively big events with colour changing. But it's not just about that. Specific to Ketra, they can control the actual color temperature, you know, the Kelvin of the light and the intensity. And they're very, very, I think I'm fair to say, conservative about the claims that they make, but circadian lighting and lighting that changes as the day changes and as the seasons is important for our bodies.
Exactly.
So it's not just an illumination of a space, it's about health. And so, I mean, anyone with kids know that they're on those phones and looking at them late at night, but they're too bright, and then we wonder why we can't sleep.
Yeah.
So it's the body takes in a lot of light. So Ketra opens up all of those kinds of things. And as I said, they came to us with a new program which is launching soon, so I can't talk too much about that. But it's a very, very high quality LED bulb.
That's great.
And then Color Cord, we bumped into them, I think possibly maybe 8 years ago, 6, 7 years ago at ICFF. I liked what they were doing. Our cords were boring, white and black. That's all we could get. Again, we're not a UL shop. We've got to collaborate, and we provide UL listed fixtures, but it's not through our own efforts internally. So we partner with folks like Color Cord, and they've really exploded in terms of the options. So they can provide swag hooks in different colors, obviously the cords, different canopies. And again, very like-minded, Zach and the team. Actually, I'm meeting him for a beer after this. So
nice.
How much longer have we got? 'Cause I'm pretty thirsty.
We have 1 minute.
But, we do 1 minute. But no, so just again, really nice working with sort of, you know, in quotes, family-oriented, like-minded folks. So the Color Cord, I'd really recommend you check them out. You don't have to work with us to work with Color Cord. You know, they might be appropriate for other fixtures. I'm sure they are.
Right. Well, and you said you'll be at ICFF. You'll be at Hui in Austin.
Right, the Hui, yeah.
Hui in Austin. But where else can they find you? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Right, so we work with local manufacturers, reps. So on our website, you can find a rep, wakaNINE.com, and so that's really the best place for designers to look. Obviously, there's a host of information on our website with respect to spec assets, you know, CAD files and tear sheets and the like. And then I'm sure there's some design consumers or folks that are out there that aren't designers but love design. So we are online. A quick Google of David TrueBridge will find the different websites we're online, as well as working with probably 80 or so showrooms across the country.
Oh, wow. Keeps you busy.
It does keep us busy.
Well, thank you so much, John. Thank you so much for coming here from Austin. It was so good to see you in person and learn more about your company.
All right, thank you, and thanks for having us on.
Of course.